at 6, this is a story Joe just told me he wrote from his heart, so you know it's going to be good. Listen, it's about a long-abandoned South Memphis nursing home. Once known as the home for the Incurables, well, it may have a new lease on life.
Indeed. Two nonprofits have united to help turn the place into a drug and alcohol treatment center right smack dab in the middle of the drug track in South Memphis. Every window looks like this one at the old King's Daughters and Sons Home for the Incurables at 1467 East Macklemore. It's 76,000 square feet of neglect, decay, and ruin.
It was dilapidated, an eyesore, had been abandoned for several years.
Venetia Belser-Kimbrough, Memphis attorney and urban renewal specialist, bought the place anyway.
At that time, 38126 was the greatest need community in all of the country when I acquired the asset, and I just knew that South Memphis needed some additional resources.
Starting in 1908 and then for 95 years, this place became home for people suffering from cerebral palsy, MS, and a host of other so-called incurable conditions. The King's Daughters and Sons Home left here in 2003, moving to a new modern center on Appling Road in Bartlett.
So it's a jewel that needed to be preserved.
Kimbrough searched high and low for years to find the right community partners to turn the South Memphis campus back into a community nursing home. Then came an army of helpers called We Fight Monsters, led by a married couple, Ben and Jess Owen.
We were homeless and addicted out here, and we used to pray a prayer, which we've talked about with you before, that if God got us out of that hell, we'd come back for everybody we left behind.
We introduced you to Ben and Jess Owen, their mugshot history, and their astounding rebound via their We Fight Monsters nonprofit last year. The couple kept their prayerful promise to return to Memphis and serve those still suffering. They purchased the very same crack houses and a former brothel where they bought, sold, and used drugs on the dead end of Melrose right off of Macklemore, and then hired recovering addicts to restore the homes and welcomed recovered addicts and women who'd been freed from the sex trade to live here.
That's our heart today. We're back here, coming back for the people we left behind in active addiction or just fighting the fight out here on these streets, and we're going to do everything we can to change them.
Our heart is so full right now.
Yeah.
This is just full. This is amazing.
On a recent Saturday, dozens of people who've been helped by We Fight Monsters in Memphis and across America chainsawed and swept and loaded one dumpster after another to clean up the long-abandoned Home for the Incurables grounds.
I was doing meth, heroin, fentanyl, crack, and I did those drugs for like 16 years. 16 years, and I haven't found a better treatment place than We Fight Monsters. There is, if you look around, it's family.
I've done every drug there is, and God has literally transformed my life and brought me away from that. And We Fight Monsters is a huge part of that. Ben and Jess are incredible human beings, and the things in the life that I have today, I just want to give back.
Ben and Jessica gave me a call and said, hey, we're doing this. We got this huge building and we want to turn it into a treatment center and we want you to come help us clean it up. I said, I'm there.
Ginny Burton came all the way from Washington State and a 30-year life of drugs and mugshots.
Well, I was a drug addict. I used to say it took a lot of money to look like this.
Now Burton has graduated into a woman dedicated to helping others. She goes inside Washington state prisons to teach a re-entry program.
And I've been clean for more than 12 years, and my 100% my mission is to help people like me get up and out of where they're at.
Via social media, the We Fight Monsters mission attracted people from 14 states for this cleanup, including Steve Williams and his wife from Washington, D.C.
We have children that are addicts and one specifically that's a fentanyl abuser and lost on the streets in the Tenderloin in San Francisco for the last 4 years. So it's helpful to come out and do something besides write checks, help out, and actually physically get involved and meet all the people that Ben and Jessica have helped over the years.
The We Fight Monsters properties on the dead end of Melrose adjoin the old King's Daughters and Sons campus. As our drone images show, they're neighbors.
It was the King's Daughters Sons Home for the Incurables, and we're fighting an incurable disease, addiction. And so it's the fact that it butts up right to our block is perfect, but the name, the history, I think everything, it's all God ordained.
I don't believe in chance or happenstance, and it's all designed. He read my vision and mission on our website, and I read his, and we knew that the purpose and mission had been married.
And I just can't think of a better place to do this. We're in one of the most impoverished and violent zip codes in America, and it's ready for something different.
Amen.
What better cause than to save our community, to save our citizens, to save our families?
So if you want to help, the next cleanup at 1467 East McLemore will be Saturday, April 19th. For now, Ms. Kimbrough and We Fight Monsters are looking for financial support for their major South Memphis renovation. You can help through a link to wefightmonsters.org with many more details on this story at actionnews5.com.